Now in this video, I'm going to be talking about why players don't like Banshee. It's very simple and it shouldn't take too long, so let's get into it. Starting off with the first main thing, her abilities. So her abilities are just not good. There's one that I can consider is good and everything else is kind of just ass. So let's start with Sonic Boom. Her first ability, Banshee emits a sonic shockwave that pushes targets into range with enough force to incapacitate or kill attackers. This just ragdolls them, making it annoying for teammates to kill them. It's kind of just annoying. Sonar. Using acoustic location, Banshee sonar power finds and tracks enemies and exposes their critical weak spots to everyone in your squad. This is the good ability I'm talking about. This adds a damage multiplier, and it's incredibly useful just for doing a lot more damage. If you build around this ability, you'll be doing insane amounts of damage even though your abilities won't be. Your weapons will just do insane damage even if you don't mod them correctly. Now, Silence. Using Silence surrounds Banshee and an aura that stuns enemies and will limit their perception and tactical response to gunfire and Warframe attacks. This is kind of just bad. This one does its job. It does make them stunned for a couple seconds, but if you use this on already alert enemies, it literally does nothing except buy you a couple seconds. Buying you a couple seconds can be useful though to activate another ability, but it's still not good. I assume this is an ability that is synergized mostly with her fourth. Soundquake, challenging all of her acoustic energy into the environment, Banshee uses ultrasonic reverberations to violently shake the ground. This is horrible. It doesn't sound bad, but I can just show you instead. Now, this is all unranked and these are level 5 enemies. But let's go ahead and use Silence to stun them and then Soundquake. You are stuck in this location. These enemies are being staggered, so it's fine, but if I did not use Silence first, I'd be taking mad damage in the process of activating this. And then enemies outside of their range can freely attack me. And even though they're level 5, they did not die by this ability at all, which is just horrendous. I get that I didn't mod it, but these enemies are level 5 and this is her ultimate ability. And even while expending all of my energy, not a single enemy died. This is just a horrible ability. Now, that is why they made augments. So moving on to the next part, her augments. Now, to make her good, you need to augment her a lot. So whatever ability you plan on using the most, whether it's Soundquake, Sonar, or Sonic Boom, you need to augment her properly. And in doing so, you're going to be discarding the other abilities and focusing on whatever augment you're using. Now, if you decide to make a build revolving around Sonic Boom or Sonar, you'll be helping out the team a lot. In fact, if you use both of them, you'll be helping out the team exponentially. This is great for support because then you could fully reduce the armor with Sonic Boom by casting it twice, allowing for full armor stripping. And then Sonar, this is mostly to help you out, but it also helps the team out by keeping her sonar perpetually always activated. But to do that, you need to have on Resonance. Resonance allows you to activate sonar again free of cost, so long as you kill an enemy with a weak point shot within the duration that is left. So focusing on sonar, you'd be building up around her damage and her radius, with a little bit of duration to allow you to kill enemies, but that would leave efficiency in the dust because you'll have to focus on survivability as well, which I'll focus on in a bit. So her efficiency would be too high and you wouldn't be able to cast this always. So to make up for that, you have Resonance. This would just perpetually keep this upkeep so long as you activate it once and then continue killing enemies. And then finally, Soundquake. This just moves all the damage into one instance, multiplying it by 20 times with more radius, and even then, it doesn't kill level 5 enemies. It doesn't kill any of the enemies on the outskirts, and it only kills the enemies you're directly right up against. The fall off is gradual and steep at the exact same time, and it's still not that good if I'm being honest. Despite her reliance on the augments, you'd have to build up around one of the augments. If you focus on Resonating Quake, you won't be able to focus on Sonar or Sonic Boom, which is quite annoying. And now let's focus on the last thing. We've discussed her dependency on augments. We discussed why abilities are kind of just weak. There are a few other things, but the worst thing is that she has no survivability. Her health and shields are 370 and her armor is 135. You'll be dead in an instant if you go into a high level mission. Now, Silence does do some crowd control, but it grants a couple seconds and then you're dead the moment they get up again. She has nothing for invulnerability, nothing to help out with shield gating, which means you have to do it yourself. Now, I don't believe that every Warframe needs to have an ability that allows them to become invulnerable, but the truth is that in today's Warframe, there are Warframes out there that not only have support abilities, but abilities to become invulnerable and abilities to nuke as well. They're the holy trinity, and there's no reason to go Banshee, who has none of them without high levels of effort. Having no survivability just means she'll be dead within an instant unless you start doing some nutty shit with shield gating. And that's pretty much just about it. She is extremely fragile. She has outdated or just unreliable abilities, her unreliable ability being silence in this case. It's extremely high effort just for high damage, with you having to use Sonic Boom for armor reduction twice, and then Sonar, which would require you to keep hitting the weak spots over and over again just to keep up that damage multiplier. And then both of those require Augment Dependency. And then with all those together, it's just incompatible with modern gameplay, with the meta being you look at a room and it's done. Otherwise, you're not going to be playing the game, your teammate's going to be playing it for you. If you hop into a match with the Banshee, 9 times out of 10, before you can even get your ability off, the room is already dead. That's just how it is. So, with her being this way, there's just little to no shot for a Banshee main to be able to play the game themselves. And so, with that being said, that's pretty much just about it. And now, if you guys know any other frames that receive a lot of hate, I'd love to hear about them. I think it's interesting. And if you know a frame that receives a lot of love and doesn't deserve it, I'd love to hear about that too. And with that being said, that's pretty much just about it. Until next time.